Hello. So I am starting something new this year, 2021. I've been saying that I've had a lot of requests for me to go live, for me to do a YouTube channel. So here it is. This is our first weekly. I'll try to do these every week, but this is going to be an energetic alignment and mindfulness session for the energy of the week. And here what we'll do is we will look into 3 areas of our lives. We'll focus on the mind, the body, and the spirit. And with that, we'll be able to highlight some of the energies that we may encounter throughout the week. And this would be whether it's subconscious or consciously. And so we'll dive into those, help to kind of see what is going on, and then we'll try to pull some advice to see what we can do, and some things that can help us as we encounter these energies, whether they're good or bad. And so with that being said, I already have our spread for us because I was actually trying to do this on YouTube, but I don't know. It just kept not working. So what we'll do is I'll do it on here. I'll save the video and then I'll just upload it on here. So it will be live. So anyway, with that being said, this is our first week into the new year. And there's a lot of possibilities here. So when I shuffle the cards, if you're new to tarot and tarot cards, I totally believe that it speaks to, it just helps us align our conscious with our subconscious thoughts. And so when we are able to do that, then we're able to learn how to validate ourselves and listen to our intuition and all those things like that, to help better align us on with a version of our best self. Sometimes we're looking to have problems solved. We don't necessarily know how to solve them. And so being able to confirm that there's energies going on around you that you may not be able to see, when we know better, we do better. So energy is not gender specific. It's not linear. It's fluent. So I could be touching on something that happened a while ago that we're bringing in today that may affect the future. Masculine and feminine energy, we move in and out of those energies all the time. So even though we may see a masculine energy on the board, that does not denote that it has to be a man. It can be a female in masculine energy as we shift through those energies. So also, this reading is for the collective. Okay, so if you are interested in a more personal reading, you can head right over to www.rootwork.llc. .com. Let me redo that. www.rootworkllc.com. So, and you can schedule your personal reading there. So these messages are for the collective. So use your discernment and take what fits you. And if you feel like it doesn't fit you, toss it away. However, do know again, energy is fluent. So even though it may not be happening right now, it could be happening later or in the past. So anyway, let's just get into it. So, when I shuffled the cards at the end of the deck, of the 3 cards we're going to pull came the Empress. And if you can see the Empress, congratulations to anybody who may be carrying a child this year. We know there is a lot of babies that came out of COVID in the shelter time that we've been in isolation. And so for others, this would just be the fact that you are nurturing something. So when you think about creativity, not only this creativity have to do with the creation of a child, but it also has to do with the creation of the things that we want to bring forth into the 3D. As we come down out of our heads and into our bodies, then we begin to nurture the things that we want to manifest. And so I do feel like that, with the isolation that's been going on, because this is coming up in, this is the energy that's affecting the cards that we lay out. So with all of that coming on, we may be in a very fertile time where we've we've had to learn how to do things differently in 2020. 2020 taught us about foundations. It taught us about securing our boundaries. It talked about the security of finances, security of relationships. It was really a tower moment that we all experienced. A lot of sudden change, a lot of transformation that take place. And so as we move into the 2021, that will bring about the changes from the transformation. And so with that, the way that we look at money, the way that we look at relationship, the way that we look at home and self has probably changed. And so a lot of us has taken that time to hone into our own selves and create, whether it's not a better version of ourselves, or to create and innovate just, the new possibilities. So I do feel like that there's a lot of people in that creative energy that's surrounding you. And so you want to take this time and nurture anything it is that you are wanting to create, because in order for, just like a baby has, that is the energy that is kind of going to wrap around this reading. So the first card we pulled was in the area of mind, as we focus on the mind, body, and the spirit, because that is what alignment is. Mind, body, and spirit being on the same page. So in the mind space, for some of those this week, you may find the fact that, you are the juggler this week. And so in juggling, you may find the fact that, some of us are realizing that we live in a very well balanced life. You may have kind of just put your priorities in order just more so adapting. When you think about adapting from the old to the new. This is in your mind space. So it could be the fact that maybe life was disorganized for a while. Maybe your thoughts and stuff was a little bit of everywhere, so it was leaving you a bit disorganized. And so now in the mind space, you are moving towards a more you're wanting to be a little bit more stable per se when it comes to your thought patterns. For some of us, coming away from the holiday season, right? We could be living from paycheck to paycheck, or just robbing Peter to pay Paul. And so finding the ways and the appropriate ways to be able to do that, right? It's going to be important that you don't think about too many things, because thinking about tomorrow causes you the inability to live in today. And I know that it's important to, we tell our minds that we need to go solve problems that are going to happen 10 days from now. But if we can learn how to focus our thoughts on what is present, what needs to be done today, then that's going to better help be able to, balance that thought process so that you don't leave your mind so disorganized in thought, right? Because when we're thinking about too many things, we get caught up in our mind and not necessarily in our body. So when we talk about the body, I do feel like that some of these thoughts have created this sense of, which brings us into the body. So if in the mind space we're juggled, right? What's going on in the mind actually happens to manifest in the body. So an unbalanced mind is an unbalanced body. A balanced mind, a wise mind, a clear mind is a balanced body and a clear body, right? And so here, what the card that brings us into our bodies is the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands speaks to the fact that we may feel overburdened, right? Feeling as if a load needs to be lifted or should be lifted, or you have done the job through the thinking of the juggling to, again, lift those burdens. Because in the mind, this would suggest that there are burdens, there's responsibilities, the lack of delegation that may be, that you may be having to the point that it's causing some disorganization down in the body. So you've decided to walk away from a lot of those burdens, a lot of those responsibilities. You've decided that, I may need to, it may be best if I was, hi Shrika, it may be best if I was to delegate these tasks to somebody else. Well, in delegation, we do know that the task may never be done the way that you want it done, but the fact that you've offloaded, then that's going to bring in about more balance, especially in the mind space where we're living at right now. And so this would be advice to, take that assessment and see some of those things that you very well may, some of those responsibilities that you may can hand to someone else. Think about those burdens and the load of the burdens and the weight that you're carrying, right? And ask yourself, is there a way that I can lift some of these things off of me so that I can feel more balanced, especially in my mind space, right? This is going to help in the area of self-care as well, because a healthy mind is a healthy body, right? If mind, body, and spirit is in alignment, then that means that they're all working together for the best total alignment of self. And so learning how to pack light in self-care, making sure that you have that self-care, making sure that you can go talk to that person or that therapist or whoever it is that you speak to when you're working through and talking through a lot of these burdens that you may be carrying. When I think about, Christmas and the holiday, and, just the fact that you may have, used a lot, the money that maybe you didn't have at some point, and now it's affecting the money that you do have now. It's going to be a great job to look into some resources that may be out there that could be available to you right now that would help you, again, offload some of these burdens. Speak light to yourself. Speak life into yourself. Make sure, looking at this card too, in the body, okay, that's our physical selves. I feel as if too, that as we move in from 2020 into 2021, right, it is going to be important that you took the time and you made that assessment and you asked yourself, what are some things that I need to bring with me into 2021? And what are some things that probably should stay in 2020? Because that is going to have everything to do with the amount of burdens that you're carrying in 2021. It's going to be almost impossible for you to see any of the new possibilities that await you in this 365 days if you're bringing things with you from 2020 that were not so beneficial into 2021. And so I'm hearing Erykah Badu, pack light. Learn how to offload people, places, things, thought patterns, relationships, all those things that are no longer serving the best version of yourself. Because in order for you to be able to have a clear mind and a balanced mind, you're going to have to unload some of these things. The 10 is significant for endings and beginnings. There's going to be grief associated with both, with the fact that you have to leave some things in the past and the fact that you're going to have to embrace some things in the new. But it's all for the betterment of self. And so you have to trust that spirit, that zero, is going to guide you, is guiding the way. So whatever you choose and you know that you need to leave behind, you need to be confident in the fact, because whatever is meant to come with you, even if you let it go, it will come with you and you will meet it again on the other side, right? And it'll be in a better version of yourself, right? And so then